Kickin Lawyer crew. So today I'm going to talk about something that may or may not interest you. I don't know. It's how to become a lawyer in 3 easy steps. And then as a bonus, I'm going to include how to be a good lawyer. So that may be slightly different than just being a lawyer all by itself. So basically, the first thing you have to do, I'll tell you the steps, and then I'll tell you personally how I became a lawyer or why I became a lawyer, and then give you the my personal opinion on how to be a good lawyer. So first of all, you got to have a bachelor's degree. If you decide to, and that's normally a 4-year degree, you want to make sure if your goal is law school that whatever school you go to is accredited, and the schools that you're looking at for the law degree are recognized. It's accredited and accepted at that law school. So you have to be careful because some community colleges or little local private schools and whatnot, sometimes the law schools may not accept them. They may not be accredited. So number one, you got to get the bachelor's degree. People ask me sometimes what you should get it in. I mean, mine was in criminal justice, so I mean, most of the time we say English intensive or history intensive, where you got to do a lot of research and writing and things. But, really I knew guys that had physics degrees, math degrees, PE degrees, physical education or whatever. It really doesn't matter. It's really more your personality type when you get into law school. I don't know that there's really any specific undergrad degree that will prepare you for law school, but you got to have a bachelor's degree to get in. So that'd be number one. Number two is you got to take the LSAT. Okay, the LSAT is the law school admissions exam. It's the way to get into law school. LSAT. It's law school admissions test is what it stands for. The LSAT, you don't pass or fail it. You get a score. And let me back up. So on your undergrad, you want to make sure your GPA is decent because that's one of the criteria a lot of law schools look at on whether they're going to accept you. It is competitive to get into law school. I was surprised. I had a 4.0 undergrad GPA. Thought that was good. Had an okay LSAT, and I still had some difficulty, even with my work experience, getting into law school. So that's something to consider. So LSAT would be number two. And then number three is you got to get your Juris Doctor degree once you get in and get through law school. And then you've got to actually pass the bar exam. So it'd be JD/bar exam would be number three. It's hard to put them together because they're two completely separate things. You've got to complete both of those. And I think arguably the bar exam may even be the harder of the two, really. I mean, once you get into law school, if you bust your rear end, you listen to everybody, and they have avenues to assist you if you're struggling. But the bar exam's a booger. So that would be 1, 2, and 3 on that. Bam! We did a switch up. So it's been a little time pass. I had a call come in during the other one. I had to go. So I'm going to try to finish this up. So now that was the 3 parts, 3 basic steps to becoming an attorney or a lawyer. And now I'm going to give you this is just my personal opinion of the qualities that you need to maybe have a good lawyer. And these are not necessarily things I'm saying that I have. These are just factors or criteria that I look at and that I judge other lawyers by, and I try to emulate myself. So number one, I would say, is passion. A good lawyer has passion. And the passion can be usually one of 2 ways. Okay, some lawyers are motivated by the passion, to protect people's rights and better society and be there for their clients, be an advocate, a true advocate. Some lawyers are passionate about just winning, so, I mean, it's good for their client either way because they just want to win, period. And you got some that are motivated by money. I mean, there's a lot of money that can be made in the legal world, and I'm going to do another video on that because people have asked questions about actual money that's involved, and I'll give you the rundown. But anyway, whatever the passion is, you got to be passionate about it. I don't think that law, at least not the practice where you're a trial lawyer, we have to go to court and represent people and protect their interest, that you should be just, this is my job. You've got to be passionate about it, so passion is a big part, I think, of anything that you want to be successful in. And that was true when I was a martial artist. I was very passionate about it. As a lawyer, very passionate about it. So I think you need to have passion. If you want to be good at it, you got to be passionate. If you have passion, a lot of the other things are going to fall into place that you need. Like studying, continuing to grow and learn, furthering your legal knowledge, all these kind of things, becoming more experienced. and working hard for your client. I think all that's kind of summed up into passion. So that would be number one. Number two, I would say you need to have some good people skills. A lot of being an attorney requires telling people what I call hard to hear information. Sometimes it's good information, but if they've come in and they're doing a criminal law consult and they're looking at some serious charges, you have to give them the realistic picture sometimes of what might or might not happen. And there's some cases that it doesn't matter how good a lawyer you have. If you've messed up, you've messed up. You've got to deal with that fact. So that's one thing that I think is worth mentioning, that you need to have good communication skills. It also aids you in the courtroom. You can get a jury to understand you better if you've got good communication skills. It helps you in the business side. You can sell better if you've got good communication skills. And that's an area, even though many attorneys have good communication skills, they kind of lack how to apply those in their actual practice. So anyway, and then, contact them just on a regular basis, your clients. These cases can drag out. It's very important to the client. You have to be patient, and that, I guess, is a little subcategory. You got to be patient, and you got to be patient with the client, because every client requires some level of hand-holding, we call it, quote unquote, so that you as the attorney can guide them through this legal world they don't know. That's why they've hired you. So I would say number two is communication skills. And then number three, and this is my personal secret to success, you got to be savage. And what does that mean? That means that I have a slogan, and this is going to sound super jacked up, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Like, I have a couple of quotes, slogans that are like what I use to guide me, especially in times that are rough, and I use them especially to guide me as an attorney in the way I practice law. And I'm very passionate, and I'm passionate about not losing a lot of times. I don't in my competitive career, I don't like it. As a police officer, I don't like it. And as a lawyer, I don't like it. So, and if you're familiar with the movie Conan, there was a phrase in there where Arnold is asked what is best in life. And he said, to destroy his enemies, to see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. You need to look up lamentations, by the way, because it doesn't mean what you think it means. But anyway, that's kind of how I practice law. I call it offensive law. That's what I try to do. That's where you always put the ball in the other person's court. You're aggressive. You always file what you have to so that it's on them to come back instead of it being on you. I think that you have to have a certain degree of, I don't know, a lack of a better term, you've got to kind of be an a-hole sometimes for your client. Not to your client, but and sometimes for your client. I mean, sometimes they don't want to hear bad information. You got to tell them. And you've got to be willing to go against other people that are very type A, alpha male type personalities, and let them know how it's going to go, and that takes a certain degree of what I call being savage. There's also a Nietzsche quote that I have like on my wall and my computer and stuff that I use, and that which does not kill you make you stronger. And the reason I have that is when things get really hard, I view that as a learning experience. Okay, that is a chance for me to improve myself, because if it's hard, it means it's something that maybe I haven't gotten acclimated to yet. Because the more you do things, even hard things, the more you get adjusted to them, and then they become easier. But as you broaden your comfort zone and your life experience. So that helps me look at things that way also. And again, I'm not saying that makes me the greatest lawyer ever, but I've seen a lot of good lawyers that seem to have that same perspective. They're very confident. They're, they don't fear the other side. They don't fear challenges, and they're not afraid to stand up even to the community. And our firm has represented clients that are very indigent. We've also represented clients that have been accused of some very, very vile things. And I'll be honest, a lot of times, I don't think they did it. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. But either way, we have to be savage and offensive in the way that we practice our law. So, I mean, that would be my advice to be a quote-unquote good lawyer. Many of you have been messaging me about video topics, and man, I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to do one on each thing you've asked about. Just take some time. It really helps me when you subscribe and comment or send me messages. We're available at the numbers below. Again, I'm Jerry Mason, the Kickin Lawyer with the Gray Huffman Butler law firm, and I look forward to hearing from you guys, and be glad to hopefully direct you in the right direction in the future. So if you need anything, let me know. If not, I'll see you later.